Hola amigos.
Hello and welcome to Morgan News, where we give you the best news. My name is Diana Crimson.
And I am Isabella Beckham.
We are transmitting live from Melbourne, Australia, and today we're going to talk to you about the Australia banking problems, and we're going to keep talking to you about the Gulf Mexico oil spill.
And also about the gas tragedy.
Okay, about the Australia banking problems, we can say that in ANC Chief Mike Smith said that the World Bank needs to change their business models to adapt the higher cost of banking. Their strong earnings improvement of Australia's third largest bank was driven to bad debts, which increased the second quarter. For the first 9 months of the financial year, AMC's underlying profit was $3 billion. However, Ms. Smith said that the higher wholesale funding costs were a fixed feature of banking as a result of the global financial crisis. He also said that we have to face up the facts that now have permanently higher costs of doing businesses. With the problems, people have to change because we need to streamline the structures and things in a new, different way. This is because Australian banks will move their lending rates higher after the election. National Australian Bank and Commonwealth Bank have debts that will expire with the new and more expensive funding.
But who will this impact? We can assure that the banks will share the job through higher mortgage consumer, and the credit card rates will incorporate through higher margins or on business loans. That's how ANC is increasing and will keep to increase its income to $11.6 billion in the first 3 quarters, compared with the previous corresponding period. And now we have a special report on the world's news with Jennifer Wilson.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Wilson, transmitting for Morgan News, and I'm going to be talking about the oil spill. In Washington, scientists have criticized the claim of the Obama's administration that most of the Gulf of Mexico oil spill is gone. This is something that has happened since the scientists discovered an oily underwater cloud that is 35 kilometers long, 2 kilometers wide, and 200 kilometers deep. There were 4.1 barrels of oil spilled in the Gulf, and most of it still remains in the environment even though it is not visible. This is something that affects the life of people that depend on fishing in this area. People have reported that the vast fog oil was floating far below the surface, where the low temperatures were slowing its natural breakdown. Scientists are urging Obama not to make it seem like the oil spill, which has been one of the worst, is gone. The government wants to make it seem like if the Gulf is on its road to recovery, but the facts do not bear that out. There is still a huge amount of the oil in the environment. According to the researchers of the University of Georgia, there is 70 to 79% of the spilled oil in the water. On the other hand, other scientists acknowledge that only 10% of the oil spill was burned out, but the other 90% is still remaining broken down by the chemicals. Now we're going back to the studio.
Okay. Welcome back to the studio. Hi, my name is Ivana Wabla, and I'm going to talk about the relationships between India and the US and the tragedy of the Bhopal gas. Well, in the past year, situated in 1984, a leak from the Union Carbide pesticide plant in Bhopal killed about 3,500 people, according to the Indian government. But activists said that there were at least like 25,000 people who were dead and causing other damages up to 500,000 more. India tried to sue the Union Carbide for $3.3 billion in damages in the US, but they agreed accepting like $470 million in compensation. In the year 2001, Dow Chemical bought the company and said the legal cause was solved. But in June, 7 former Union Carbide were convicted for negligence, sentenced to jail for 2 years and fined with 100,000 rupees. Now, Michael Froman, who is the most influential technocrat in Washington and Barack Obama, deputy advisor of international economic affairs, told the Indian counterpart in an email, "We are hearing a lot of noise about the Dow Chemical issue. I trust you are monitoring carefully." But the White House insisted the email did not link the Bhopal tragedy with the issue of economic ties. So now, a group of Bhopal victims criticized the Obama administration that it was not pursuing the same levels as he was doing for Mexico Gulf Stream. Mr. Obama is due to visit India for November. They say they were recognizing the importance and sensitivity of the Bhopal issue, and concluded that they were committed to build a strong and deep strategic partnership between India and the US. Well, that's all for today. We're going back to the studio with Diane and Isabella. Thank you.
Well, this was it with today's news. My name is Diana Crimson.
And I am Isabella Beckham. See you next time in Morgan's News
With the best news.